Good morning, sir. We are the group 4, and in this video, we're going to tackle all about the topic of module number 13, which entitled Identifying the Types of Environmental Pollution in the Philippines. So we have our learning outcomes. And at the end of this lesson, the students will be able to firstly identify the type of environmental pollution. Secondly, trace the sources and characterize each type of environmental pollution in the Philippines. So, what crosses on your mind when you heard environmental pollution in the Philippines? Is it the plastic waste in oceans, such as in Manila Bay or Boracay? The air pollution in urban cities in Metro Manila? Or the waste management challenges, particularly in more densely populated areas, where the lack of proper recycling and waste disposal exacerbates the problem. So let's define environmental pollution. It refers to the contamination of natural resources causing harmful effects on the ecosystem, human health, and the climate. It includes air, water, land, noise, personal, and radiation pollution. So let's now delve into water pollution. What is water pollution? It is the contamination of water bodies by waste and chemicals. Example, industrial waste discharged into Cagayan de Oro River. Essentially, the contamination in the water bodies such as rivers, lakes, oceans, and groundwaters degrades the water quality, that making it harmful to our human health and aquatic ecosystems. As this contamination in water spreads, our health is in increased risk for diseases such as amoeba, cholera, and hepatitis A.
Air pollution. It is a harmful substances in the air affecting health and environment. Example, smoke emissions from vehicles and factories in Divisoria. So they have two kinds of air pollution. The natural air pollutions and the artificially created air pollution. In natural air pollution are the natural impurities of air in the atmosphere include the soil particles, dust, and pollen grain particles. And it is the less severe widespread than human-caused pollution. While the artificially created air pollution are the main source of air pollutants because of the growth of population and industry, increase the number of automobile and refers to the contamination of the atmosphere caused by human activities. These are some impacts of air pollution. The impact of air pollution in human health, it is vulnerable to children and elderly with pre-existing health conditions like respiratory illnesses like asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, including the cardiovascular diseases, lung cancer, and other health problems. The impact of air pollution in the environment are acid rain, damage to ecosystem like forests and lakes. It also reduces visibility and harm to crops and lifestyle. The impact of air pollution in climate change in greenhouse gases. Certain air pollutants are also potent greenhouse gases. These gases trap heat in the atmosphere, leading to a warming effect.
So next is land and soil pollution. Degradation of land due to waste and chemicals. Land and soil pollution happens when harmful substances like chemicals, plastic, and industrial waste contamination the soil. This pollution is caused by improper waste disposal, excessive use of pesticides, deforestation, and mining activities. So, for example, is areas like the Carmen dump site. Uncontrolled waste dumping leads to soil contamination, making the land unstable for farming and affecting nearby water sources. Toxic chemical waste can seep into the ground, harming plants, animals, and even humans. The effect of soil pollution include reduced soil fertility, food contamination, loss of biodiversity, and increased health risks like skin diseases and respiratory problems. So, to reduce land pollution, we can practice proper waste segregation, promote recycling, minimize the use of harmful chemicals, and support sustainable farming practices. And community efforts, government regulations, and individuals' actions can all help protect our land for future generations.
Noise pollution is a growing concern to our human and animal health and also poses a risk to the wildlife and the planet around us. Noise pollution has four types. Firstly, we have the transportation noise, recreational noise, industrial noise, and neighborhood noise. Transportation noise are those heard from our transportation, such as from our traffic, airplane, and trains. Industrial noise are commonly heard from the factories, construction, and also from our industrial buildings. Recreational noise are commonly heard from our sporting events, fireworks, and also from the festival events like Christmas and New Year's. Lastly, we have our neighborhood noise, such as loud talking, animal noise, and music noise. So the effects of noise pollution to our body is firstly hearing loss, because prolonged exposure to loud noises can damage our hearing. Secondly, sleep disturbances as it can reduce our quality of life. Thirdly, stress and anxiety. And lastly, we have wildlife disturbances as it can disrupt the natural habitat of our wildlife animals.
Personal pollution. So, personal pollution refers to the pollution that results from everyday actions and choices of individual people. It's about recognizing how our daily habits contribute to environmental problems. So, here is the breakdown. First is reducing the consumption and waste. Like embrace the minimalism, reduce the amount of stuff you buy, prioritize your needs over your wants. Choose products with minimal packaging. Second, excessive use of vehicle. Have you seen in Cagayan de Oro that they are into a private vehicle instead of walking, biking, or using a public transport? And it leads to increased air pollution, contributes to respiratory illness, cardiovascular problem, and even cancer. And also, it affects the noise pollution, causes stress and disturbances. Third is the improper food waste and disposal. It affects the personal pollution, discarding the food scraps without proper composting or waste segregating. It also affects our unmanaged food waste attracts, like pets, rats, cockroach, which spread to diseases. And lastly, excessive burning of solid waste. Here in Cagayan de Oro, the personal pollution burning trash in backyards and open dump sites is very common. Like it releases toxic fumes containing dioxins, furans, and particulate matter, causing a severe respiratory problem and other health issues. The personal pollution contributes and affect the entire world, not just in the community or in the city of Cagayan, especially in the bad areas of high population density. By combining individual responsibility with collective action, we can significantly reduce personal pollution and create a healthier and more sustainable future.
Radiation pollution is a critical concern to our human and animal health, wildlife, and our planet as a whole. Radiation pollution has two types. We have ionizing pollution and non ionizing pollution. Ionizing pollution can alter our genetic structures, such as our DNA, and can cause cancer. Sources of this are from X rays and gamma rays. Non ionizing radiation, however, poses a lower energy radiation to our body, but it can also cause side effects, such as ultraviolet rays that we can get from our cell phones, gadgets, laptops, and also televisions. Some other sources of radiation pollution include nuclear power plant radiation, medical radiation, industrial radiation, and space radiation. The effects of radiation to our body includes cancer, genetic mutations, radiation sickness to which we have an acute radiation syndrome or ACS, and lastly, environmental damage.
So before we end our discussion, we just have some quotes to share based on our report. The solution is the less pollution.
No No, I ain't gonna comb